Good afternoon, everyone. So, this is your newspaper reading session, and let's start with today's newspaper. So, very first, a center unveiled the policy of tackle terror threat. So, recently, if we are saying that we have been receiving a lot of threats regarding the terror attack in our country, and even the Chandni Chowk area was on the high alert recently for past 4-5 days, and the army has been deployed, and the current and continuous operations are going on in Jammu and Kashmir. And this particular news is regarding that the Union Ministry on Monday released the country's first ever anti-terror policy, emphasizing that other than terror sponsored from across the border, criminal hackers and national state continue to target India through cyber attacks. So they are basically talking about the cyber attacks, and the policy titled Prahar has been uploaded on the Ministry of website. So this particular policy will be known as Prahar, which has been given by the ministry recently on the which is country's first ever anti-terror policy. It states that India faces terror threats on all three fronts: land, water and air, and the capacities have been developed to protect critical sectors of the economy, including power, railways, aviation, ports, defense, space and atomic energy. From both state and non-state sectors, the first reported, particularly on December 23, 2025, that the National Counter-Terrorism Policy and Strategy has been finalized and would be released soon. So they are basically talking about the cross-border terrorism, and nowadays, if we see that the particularly the cyber crime is one which is helping a lot in the terror which is happening in India. Last year, the Pahalgam attack, and after that, in the month of November, the attack which happened, the blast which happened near the Red Fort area in New Delhi, has been one of the major points where the terror attacks have started again, and which is one of the biggest steps which has been taken by ISI or Jaish-e-Mohammed to attack India. And these are particularly those points. So Prahar is one of the another opened by the particular ministry. Rescue affair of air ambulance. So there is this particular air ambulance from Delhi to Ranchi which took off from Ranchi to which was an air ambulance, and it crashed with 7 people on board. 2 of them were crew and other people were who died in this particular, and it was coming to Delhi. It was a private company based charter, and after the direction in hate crime ruling made too difficult, Chief Justice of Suryakant on Monday described the unmanageable and general direction issued in the Supreme Court in 2018 judgment, particularly to the union government and states to prevent pursuit of cow vigilantism and mobocracy. Rather, the Chief Justice observed in favor of dualistic approach, taking up each crime on a singular facts and merits and acting on the infraction of the person's right in abuse of law and immediate effect. Also, the adulterated milk claims 4 lives in Andhra Pradesh. We have been seeing that since the festivals are on the head and Holi is about to happen next week. So we have been currently seeing that a lot of adulterated milk, khoya and other milk products are being found in different places, and the team of the government has been on the rescue projects of finding the adulterated milk and seizing the whole amount. After that, 25 troops killed as Mexico cartel chiefs killing triggered violence. 25 Mexican troops died in clashes and cartel gunmen following a raid that led to the death of country's most unwanted drug lord, a top security official said on Monday. So Mexico was on high alert on Monday, with schools are closed and travel has been standard as a member of a powerful drug cartel went on a violent rampage across the part of country after the army announced it has killed its leaders. After that, we will come to the news. State news: interfaith marriage is prohibited under new UP conversion law. So High Court recently said that there is a confusion between the fact that interfaith marriage are being covered under the interreligious marriages, but this is not the case. High Court clearly clarified that it is protection of 12 interfaith marriages. So basically interfaith marriages are not prohibitory under the anti-conversion law. In UP the anti-conversion law is valid, whereas the interfaith marriages are not covered under it. So stating that no one among the 12 interfaith live-in partners have converted from his or her religion and hence do not attract penalty under the anti-conversion law. The Allahabad High Court on Monday allowed police protection to the couples and asked the Uttar Pradesh government and private respondent to refrain from interfering with their life, liberty and privacy. A bench led by Justice Vivek Kumar Singh was hearing a batch of 12 writ petitions involving 7 cases under Muslim women were living with Hindu men and the 5 cases where Hindu women were living with Muslim men. The judge observed that the court did not view the petitioner through the lens of religion but as adults who have voluntarily chosen to live together peacefully for the considerable period. So further, it is a bounden duty of the state as per constitutional obligation cast upon it to protect the life and the liberty of every citizen. Right to human life is to be treated on much higher pedestal regardless of citizens' religious belief. The mere fact that the petitions are living in the interfaith relationship would not deprive them with their fundamental rights that invest in the Constitution of India and being citizens of the India. So basically there is no discrimination on the basis of it. Further, MP government to extend Bhavanantar scheme to mustard farmers for pricing power. So Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Mohan Yadav declared that assembly that the state government is planning to extend the Bhavantar Yojana for mustard farmers, which was started some months back, to compensate them for the difference between the government procurement price and the market price. Mr. Yadav said that government has a proposal in this regard to a center and that the move to expect the expected to benefit about 80 lakh farmers. The Bhavantar Yojana, which prays farmer did not interfere in the crop sold in the market and the price less than government declared minimum support price or procurement price, currently benefits soybean farmers in the states. Punjab government also announced the Meri Rasoi Ration scheme, which is ahead of upcoming assembly election in Punjab during the early 27. The Aam Aadmi Party government in the state of Monday announced to provide wheat, sugar, oil and salt to family covered under the National Food Security Act. Further, even if it is Shiromani Akali Dal termed it another attempt to trick the people in the run to the pool. So they are basically saying that since the assembly elections are going to place in the month of January or initially starting of 2027, so this is one of the steps which has been taken whereby the Akali Dal also made it very as a political step and criticized it. Mumbai Metro tragedy highlights need for stricter safety measures, venting norms. Okay, and after that we will go to the editorial page today and we will see what has been mentioned here. And the quiet crisis of adolescent mental health in India. If we consider the mental health, which is being one of the booming topic in today's India, the mental health of people, of children, of the adults is one of the major topic which needs to be discussed. And there have been many projects, as well as the government has released many toll free numbers so that the people can come up there and talk up, which is free of cost for the people who really cannot afford the fees of the psychiatrist or the psychologist. So it is one of the mental health topic here we are going to discuss today. So it says that the passing of 3 adolescent girl in Uttar Pradesh. So this basically is talking about that recently there is this case happened in Ghaziabad where three girls were watching continuously watching Korean drama, and they jumped from the balcony of their house after due to the continuous watching of the Korean drama, and they write that we want to kill ourselves, and this is what, because they were totally influenced by the Korean drama. So whatever they are saying, the girls were doing that, and they were very small, they were adolescent girls who committed suicide by watching the Korean drama. Uttar Pradesh earlier this month in the case deeply unsettled the public. The intense media attention reflect collective greed, but treating this strategy is an isolated incidental trick, ignoring a larger reality. India faces a growing and largely neglected crisis in child and adolescent mental health, rooted in early vulnerability worsened by the unregulated digital environment. It also says that when we say that the kids are watching all this mental health, and the mental health is important, and they are able to access the what all we have, isn't it something which is actually worrying for us? As in, when we say that the kids are in reach of digital media very easily, the parents are not at home, they are working, so the kids are able to watch whatever the episodes or whatever drama they want to, and see what has happened. It has created such a huge impact that the kids committed suicide. So this editorial is particularly about it. So mental health challenges are no longer limited to adult or old teens. Clinicals increasingly sees anxiety, depression, attention disorder, and behavioral issues as much as younger kids, as younger children. Yet many family, schools, and even parts of the healthcare system still views these as adult issue. In fact, emotional and behavioral disorder can appear as early as 4 or 5 years of age. Early trauma, neglecting, and chronic stress can disrupt emotional and cognitive development, often resurfacing with greater intensity during adolescence. These conditions have grown more complex, where children showed a single diagnosis. Comorbidities are now common: attention deficit hyperactivity disorder with anxiety, depression with compulsive digital use, learning difficulties with emotional distress, making early recognition condition crucial. So I would also like to mention one particular thing. Then when we say that the kids are able to get the digital access easily, they are also surfing the content on digital media which is directly affecting their mental health. Since it is directly affecting their mental health, they are causing a very different type of anxiety, distress, as well as depression related issues. They are living in certain different world where they consider themselves as the character of particular show or something. This is a different type of issue which needs to be considered in this given point of time. Now AI for all, again this is one of the topics, since we all saw that AI summit was happening in India. So this particular event showed many things. The attendance at the AI Impact in New Delhi showed an extreme enthusiasm for artificial intelligence technologies by digitally connected Indians, while statistics shared by AI firms have frequently cited India as the biggest user base outside the US. The crowds over the week were the biggest indicators of just how keen many Indians are to adopt the technology. And considering the fact that AI has been adopted by Indians, it has been giving more ways and it has opened more opportunities for the people who are working here in the country. So since the other people from the countries and the technology and the people who are built up with the technologies, who are much pro and given facilities by AI, are ready to invest in India, are ready to discover and work with the people in India, has opened a greater opportunity for the people working here. And regarding the AI, further, we will talk about the opinion section, rethinking tribal women's inheritance right. Since the question of women inheritance right in tribal communities remains unsolved. Customary laws of most tribal communities deny absolute property rights to the women in Hindu Succession Act, which grants daughters inheritance right in ancestral property. So this particular opinion is talking about how and what are the rights of the Hindu Succession Acts for the daughters specifically. So which also keeps tribal women out of this purview. Until recently, Supreme Court had in some cases granted inheritance right to tribal women who had Hinduized and adopted Hindu customs and traditions after abandoning their customary practice. So here it is talking about that recently in certain cases the women of tribal community who has adopted Hindu as their particular religion gave the rights to the women who have adopted and who have left their own customary rights. Firstly, this inconsistent approach, including tribal women from the inheritance rights, is in some cases due to acceptance of exclusion clauses under Hindu law, while granting rights in other because of Hinduization created uncertainty for tribal women whenever questions of inheritance arose. And in this particular, Congress tightens grip, but tests lie ahead. A party cannot afford to be complicit even after winning the municipal poll. The results of 2026 Telangana municipal election marked another milestone in Congress' steady political consolidation in Telangana. Before this, the party won the 2023 assembly election, secured 8 seats in 2024 Lok Sabha poll, which was many as the Bharatiya Janata Party won a majority of Sarpanch position in 2025. Together, these victories have strengthened the Congress's organizational confidence and regained the forced the public perception that the party is in the new pole for stability in Telangana. So this particular opinionated article is talking about how women, how the whole particular election took place and how Congress has secured seats in Telangana in the municipality election which held in 2026. Now the other one is why upper caste support matters for the BJP. In recent weeks, there have been debates and protests in universities across India over UGC. So recently, UGC was not able. UGC gave a particular statement that if normally also if somebody is making a statement which is based on their caste or crew, can be punished and the degree can be cancelled, created a huge issue among the people, and which in which the Supreme Court was forced to enter and interfere. So here the data were sourced from the National Education Elections Study conducted in Lokniti and the various state assembly studies conducted in different states in Lokniti. Text and content, there are On the independence of EC, the Independent Election Commission is bedrock for Indian democracy. To ensure that it remains so, various safeguards are built into the basic structure of constitution. So this particular one, it has been alleged that the Election Commission has allowed massive irregularities in the voters list, specifically targeting minority and opposition supporting voters. Article 324 provides for an EC with the CEC and other commissioners, and also includes a provision for regional commissioners. Though the opposition has said that it will adopt democratic tools to the the motion against the CEC, it is likely to get passed as the ruling alliance holds sufficient majority in the parliament. So these are the major news for today's session. So thank you so much and see you tomorrow.